NCRP Productions presents Feast of Legends, the Wendy's role-playing game. Order number 8.
Hey everybody! Yeah, that's going to start us off today. Welcome to another... No, we'll start over again.
Jesus Christ, Mike.
If I had thought of something funnier, we would have kept going, but I didn't. It wasn't funny enough for me.
That's still kind of funny.
I could do
I can cut all the stuff out and still start it with that, so go.
Yeah, please do that.
Okay. Where am I? All right.
You should just leave all this in.
Hey everybody, welcome. Okay. It wasn't that funny. I was
too
just
serious.
Yeah.
I'm just okay.
Everybody
fine.
look at the table except Pedro.
Everybody,
Go.
get the farts out.
Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Pedro, and tonight we're going to be playing Feast of Legends.
I thought we were playing Merkborg.
Woof woof.
The fuck?
The dog pound.
Hey, I'm John tonight.
Yeah, so here's your character.
I'm Jules.
Don't forget to do the tiny mouth.
Oh, yeah. John, I said I don't have time for midnight. I gotta go. Bye, everybody.
Talking about Pedro.
I'm talking about Pedro. I will haunt your dreams.
He will not leave my house.
Can we get a tiny mouth Sequoia?
No.
Come on.
No. See that? No.
No.
May I start?
Oh, so sorry.
It's okay. Everyone holding me up.
I know exactly what it's like to be where you are
Yeah.
right now, and it's fun to be on this end.
Oh. Hey all, welcome to another episode of Feast of Legends, our Wendy's role-playing game. This is Pedro, your game master, and let's go ahead and start at the table with you.
Hi, it's Sequoia, and I am running Lady Holsteena, Order of the Baconator.
Hey, it's Barry. I am running Cranston Tater, the Order of the Baconator Fries.
What up, gamers? I'm Mike, and I am playing Elados.
You want a woof woof?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Woof,
can I
woof,
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 woof?
woof.
Thanks, everybody. Order of the Frosty.
Hello. I'm John, and I'll be playing Jules, I guess, tonight. I'm the Order of the French Fries. Enchanté.
Thank you, John/Jules. Hey everybody, welcome back. So let's go ahead and recap last time. There was nothing funny in that, Mike. Recapping. So last time when you guys were dealing with the supervisors that attacked you on the Spud's farm, a battle ensued. 2 of them were befriended by Elados and wrote down a nice little incident report of the whole battle. While Holsteena and Cranston, you both got into battle with the 2 that were not charmed by Elados, taking both of them down. While Jules, you kept Tate Spuds busy up in his office, really using your charm to break him down and put the fear of Wendy into him. So he's been cooperative as he can be. Now, after the supervisors were defeated, you all met back up. After Cranston, you interacting with some of the workers, found out about some really poor working conditions bolstered by the employee handbook you all found, which has been gutted and left more up to interpretation in this era. We left off at a bit of a tense moment as Cranston, you had thrown Tate up against the wall after he mentioned the burnt down farm from up the road that is your family's old farm. And that's when he realized, getting a good close look at you, that you were the Cranston Tater that he said should be dead.
As I said a moment ago, you should be dead. What are you doing? How wait a minute. If you said your name was Jules?
Yes, I guess, the jig's up, friends. We are the 4, returned once again to set right that which is wrong.
That was your lady, Night Holsteena. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, what do we do now? Because, Cranston, you look like you want to, put me on the ground, so to speak.
What you've done to these workers, to these beautiful fields, to To Wendy's reputation about the fries, you should be in the ground. But instead, I think we should consider bringing him in to Wendy and letting her judgment fall summarily on his head.
Hold on a moment. I know you're the floor, but we have a process of this. You need to file a complaint, and then it will go to the appropriate channels, and then Queen Wendy can make her judgment. You can't just drag me to Wendy's.
I don't think what you are saying is true.
There's only one path to justice, and there's no papers for that.
Actually, my friends,
just do
I'm
that.
sorry, but page 19 here of the handbook does apparently say that he is right.
Put this down. We are not
I
employees.
throw the handbook against the wall
Slap it out of my hand.
as hard as I can. You're reverting to the old handbook now.
That's not in the processes.
I slap him.
You can't just slap me. I'm
I slap him again.
a franchisee owner. You can't just do this to me.
You're reverting to the old handbooks. Or we are taking you to Queen Wendy.
But the council will not stand for this.
The council will answer to us.
Is that council?
Of finance?
Oh, yes.
Well, yes, but the council of finance, all the councils won't stand
Where
for
do
this.
they meet?
At the castle, of course. I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble talking.
You drink some more ranch.
If you would stop drinking ranch and shoving fries in your mouth.
No, the fries, they burn my throat in the ranch. It cools it down. It's a cool ranch flavor.
Please just take a break for a minute.
He's sweating profusely, by the way, and it's just bolting down the greasy skin.
Friends, Shirley and Cranston, you remember Tate when he was but a tot. I'm certain that you could find kindness in your heart towards him. It was, I'm sure, Tate, your father set these things in motion. You were just doing as you were told. I'm certain we could find a way to show leniency to him.
Yes, of course. I mean, everybody's treated the same under the handbook over the labor laws. I mean, the counselor of labor. I mean, he wrote them himself. I mean, this is all standard practice.
Absolutely, Tate. And we've established you don't agree with your father and everything he does. I'm positive, and I wink and smile at him, that you disagree with many of the ways the workers are treated here.
Well, after seeing today and how some of them were treated, I mean, I think that, I would have, if they were still, satiated, I would have a talk with both of them.
Absolutely. And Cranston, we can agree that the issues lie above Tate. And having him on our side and as an ally here, which Tate is clearly in favor of, could be to the benefit of all of us here.
I would be happy to write several letters to the council, to the councilors, to be able to see if we can solve this problem. But dragging me to the castles won't solve anything.
It would solve nothing.
Jules?
Holsteena, I think that it would solve a lot of problems if we drag him to the castle.
I think that if he agrees to revert to the old handbook, at this time there's no need for him to visit the castle.
I don't even know if I have an old handbook. I mean,
I was looking for the old one, or did I find one?
Oh, yes, you were. So,
I will move into different offices until I find one.
yeah, so if you you'll have to take a little... Actually, yeah, you know what? There was some time as you guys were doing this. You had to search not only several rooms, but in the back of a supply closet that went on for a little too long
A
to make
box that
sense.
says to be shredded.
Yes, it's buried under several boxes, and I imagine you're tearing stuff apart because you said you were pretty bolstered in finding it. But yes, underneath those boxes, you will find the manual.
With prejudice, I smack it into this guy's chest, and I say, this starts today.
well, I mean, I could certainly take a look over, but I mean, these old ways were the establishment of the...
I'm not asking. This is not a question. I mean, I'm going to kill you if you don't.
Lady Dice Holsteena, I mean, when you make such a compelling argument...
You know, I like that she does not beat around the bush.
She never has.
We want a map of every other farm that is in this organization, and we want to know about the devices.
Yes, Tate. We were having a conversation, which I feel like it was about to become very illuminating. Your father had discussed these devices. Perhaps we could show you an example of one to help jog your memory?
I could certainly look at something if you want to show me. I mean, that drawing maybe looked familiar.
Elados, would you be so kind?
What are we talking about now?
Oh, the strange device we
Oh,
discovered
this
in the
thing!
woods.
And I pull it out.
And so you'll pull that out, and he kind of goes a little white.
He says, blah, 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 blah. Why are you carrying one of those around? I mean, that's, do you know what that is?
Do you know what this is?
I mean, I don't know exactly what that one is, but that looks like technology from the Order of the Rusty. And that technology has been banned since I was a young man.
Someone mentioned that it wasn't safe to go by the graveyard by your family's farm. I don't
It's
remember
true.
who said that.
I
Tater
believe it
mentioned-
was the man who had the crinkle fries with his horse.
No, there was in the last session someone
Tate
said
mentioned
that.
something about people shouldn't be going around there.
Yeah, explain that.
Well, I mean, it's a burnt out husk from a time when the freeze overtook the farm.
Is that all? Is he telling the truth about that?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
17.
So, yes, he is telling the truth. You don't get a sense that he's lying about
The truth is
that.
he sees it.
Yes, the truth is he sees it. Thank you. But you also know that he's definitely knows a little bit more than he's letting on with about this object.
Jules, speak to your man.
Tate, my friends can become a little unreasonable sometimes. Just tell us what you know about this device and give us an agreement that you'll do your very best to improve conditions for the workers, along with maybe an endorsement, some letters securing us passage, or an audience with maybe your father, and a few dollars for our trouble, a few coins for our trouble. And I'm sure that we can see our way towards leaving here as friends. And maybe we'll come visit you again to check in on your progress.
When you were little, your father cut corners. That's something Wendy does not do. And I see you doing it again. Those fries are not ready to be served. They're not ready to be harvested. 30 times a year, Tate? 30 times a year?
The son shall not pay for the sins of their father, Cranston.
These are the inherited practices. I mean, we have studied these and they are fine. They suffice. I enjoy them.
Does Nate agree with everything that's going on here? I mean, I don't see him here, and I only see the one picture there, and he doesn't look as old as you.
That's because he's always lollying about. I'm the responsible one. He's just some lollygagger who likes to go up and party all the time, and he wouldn't know hard work if it bit him on the ass.
He probably gallivants.
Gallivanting all about. Father put me in, told me to stay here because he knows that I'm the responsible one.
So you are saying that you are responsible for all of this. I appreciate you admitting to it. I will take that with me to Wendy.
Got him.
That's
good.
Okay, but perhaps, yes, I can tell you a little.
So, okay, you give me a charm test, or you can give me a. Actually, one of you give me a charm test, either
You
intimidation.
get the +1
or
with me.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And I was gonna say either
Oh.
one of you gets advantage.
I actually. Oh yeah, perfect. I have advantage because I'm
Oh.
within 10 feet
Does he
of
get double
Frosty.
advantage?
No.
No.
Can he roll 4 die?
Charm. That's a 9. Charm.
13.
Oh, what is that?
1 5.
1 5 plus 2 is 17.
Plus another one.
I rolled my advantage.
You get +1 for me.
Oh, freaking
For all
A.
charm rolls.
That's a freaking sweet, Lois. That's 18.
Okay, so considering he got 11, so you say that, and he kind of slinks down. I'm just well, perhaps if I was able to help you, maybe correct a few things, you could put in a good word with Wendy and let her know that maybe Tate should have done a better job, or Nate should have done a better job here. Maybe I was too busy with the minutia.
Certainly, if Nate had been here and had been doing his duties to the farm, I'm positive that these things wouldn't have slipped through the cracks.
Yes, exactly. So, well, that object is definitely. No, I can't say that I've seen this one in particular, but I've seen one like it. Especially when I was younger, especially soon after the Inquisition started. The Order of the Frosty were disbanded. I honestly don't really know much about it, never cared to learn about what happened, but I know that they were disbanded. And all of their teachings and their mechanics, or arcane or otherwise, were banned as heretical, and they blended the freeze and conjured it into the world. So now there were some, definitely none of my family, always stayed away from that. We were respectable. That we tried to use them for the benefit. The Inquisition has found many people communing with the freeze, and
Did you say that they think the Order of the Frosty is responsible for the freeze?
oh, well, not for the freeze per se, but they were, from the little I've heard, working on bringing the freeze into the world and using it for whatever reasons. Well, we are not denying that is heretical thinking. But they were all snuffed out, as far as I know.
Is this the same time that the Frosty was stricken from Wendy's menu?
Yes, it was shortly after that.
So your family never used these devices. Maybe they used them with the best of intentions as a way to make the fries last longer, ship better, something like this. We could all understand somebody attempting to use a power as great as the freeze for good and having things go awry.
No, Jules, no. Fresh, never frozen.
But many times people are misled in hard times, and there were certainly hard times without us here to ensure that the kingdom functioned.
The times were indeed hard after the events of the death of the Ice Jester. Why the freeze went rampant. It was only thanks to the hard work of, the people, the workers of Freshness, that we were able to keep everybody fed with the fresh food.
And I'm looking around his office where there are plates and plates of steaming fries. There are jugs of fresh, cool ranch lying around.
All manners of condiments available for drinking and sipping. And
There's a
dipping.
whole plate of mixed condiments in front of me.
Yeah, the ultimate condiment.
Ew.
The forbidden condiment to some.
Ew. Forbidden
The
condiment?
secret
That's a
condiment
funny
menu.
joke.
I'm gonna have to save that for later.
It was just, there were times that were leaner than others afterwards, but, it took the hard work of upstanding families, much like ours, the Spuds, who were able to rise above, and not every family was able. Let's talk about something else. The point is that
I say nothing, I turn and walk out. But I do take the handbook that I've got when I walk out.
The old
handful
one
of
or the new
ranch.
one?
The new one.
Good.
Take a handful of ranch and walk out.
They'll say, but no, my family is upstanding. We worked our way to get into where we are. We would not deign to use such technologies. We don't cut those kind of corners.
We have another question for you, Tate. We have heard tell of a old lady Crinkle.
Crinkle.
She seems to be interfering with the production of fries, providing fries that are not sanctioned, I'm sure. We've even encountered a purveyor of said fries. What can you tell us about old lady Crinkle?
Oh, she's some old crazy person living in the Fry Woods. I mean, the woods are rampant with hunger and pangs. You could feel it just standing into it. That's why we cut it more and more down each day. Less places for the hunger to lurk. She lives out there somewhere. She brings those crinkle fries of her to the people, to the workers, and they're not Wendy's fries. They're not sanctioned. They're supposed to be, doing their work so that they can earn in their way to eating Wendy's fries, just like everybody else who works for them.
Of course, and if we were seeking to bring this old lady Crinkle also to justice, we do not endorse her activities clearly. You could give us some guidance, whereas to find her?
If I knew why, oh man, we would hunt her down. But no, she's eluded us. In fact, if you find her and bring her to the Spuds family, we will pay you handsomely.
No.
Oh, how handsomely?
Very handsomely.
No, very. Sounds...
Hundreds of coins.
Cranston left. I will approach the table. I put my hand in his bowl of ranch. I freeze it, and I say, "We're not all gone." And I storm out looking for Cranston.
With a whole frozen thing of ranch in your hand.
Stuck on your hand.
Frozen ranch.
The entire bowl, you just pull it out and walk out.
The freeze. The freeze.
Do you have any more questions for him, Jules?
I think this is most of the information I needed. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we could possibly need from Tate?
How much money do you have on you?
What do you mean on my person?
Yes.
He says, well, let me go ahead and look. I think, and he'll look for, fake look for a second, you could tell, and then when he accidentally hits his pants, you hear a jingle. It's, oh, there's my money. And he'll say, he'll jingle the bag. He'll say, I think there's about 88 coins in here, give or take one.
In the name of the crown, we're seizing your coin purse.
And so he first is taken aback, and then he smiles and he says,
very well. It seems you've read our handbook a little too closely then.
And then I'm gonna say, you're sending the workers home now, and you're spending the rest of this evening figuring out how you're going to incorporate the old handbook into your practices.
Oh?
We will be watching. And then I'm gonna walk out and snag Jules on the way.
As I'm being dragged out, I'm gonna be like, we're still cool, Tate. Listen, I'll see you later. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Thank you.
and so he'll hurry along after you. So as you drag Jules away, he's gonna wait by the door for a
I'm
moment.
not dragging Jules.
Oh, okay.
I'm gently guiding.
Oh, you're gently guiding
As
me.
you
Not,
gently
shaking
guide.
you on the way.
I kind of imagine that you had grabbed me by the upper arm and
Yes,
were roughly
that's what I was
pulling me
thinking.
towards the.
No, I think she very gently put a hand on the small of your back.
Yeah.
Aw,
I'm
thank
escorting you.
That's aw.
So you'll see he goes along the side of the house as you're, walking off. If you're looking back, he is going to find this string where he's going to pull it several times. It's gonna make a little jangling from a bell up top.
Okay.
That kind of rings out, and you'll see all of the workers stop and look, and then he puts his mouth to this brass end piece that you follow and now realize there's a giant
my God.
horn along the sides of
Big old Dr. Seuss horn.
Hello, workers. This is Boss Tate. You may all take the day off. Please go home to your families, and we will see you first thing tomorrow morning at 6. 8 o'clock.
Oh, reasonable starting time. I think you've done some really good work here, Lady Knight Holsteena.
And then you'll see that all the workers are kind of like looking around, and the two supervisors that are still out there are kind of scratching their head. And,
This was not a test. Everybody go home.
and then they all like jump up and then just kind of like start meandering. I mean, they all go kind of towards the road. So, I mean, depending on if you guys wait for them, they're going to just kind of file towards the road and then go their ways.
So we watch the two supervisors. There's no one to whip, so they start whipping each other.
The two supervisors they're kind of just like looking at one another, conversing, going over notes. They're just walking towards the house and eventually towards Tate.
You know, whipped supervisor has 40% less fat.
Cranston, I brought you a wrench if you need this.
I don't know.
Oh. You
It's a
see-
melee weapon.
There's no reason to dip fries in that if they're grown correctly,
No, they should
aged
be
properly.
dipped in Frosties. I agree, but are you okay? That was some heavy shit.
Nothing makes sense anymore. This is not the world we left. I mean, I don't know what happened to Wendy. I don't know what's happening here. I don't understand. There's a part of me that wants to find this old lady Crinkle. See if she's somehow connected to all this.
Yes.
It's too bad I didn't get a chance to ask him what he knew about her before I left, but I feel there's some connection there.
We could go find her.
I think... Oh! Lady Knight Holsteena. Jules.
Hello.
Elados and I were just considering the possibility of potentially going and finding this Lady Crinkle.
Well, as usual, I've come up with a brilliant plan.
Oh,
Please, Jules,
if you-
inform
Can you
us.
get this wrench off of my hand, please?
Maybe put it under your armpit so the heat begins to melt the ranch.
You could put it
lift
above
your
the
arm and I put it under your armpit.
Okay, and I'd hold my arm there because I'm a good friend, and that's what good friends do. Yes, it seems to me that this old lady Crinkle, she visits the workers in the evening to provide those who missed work with fries to feed them. I have a sneaking suspicion were we to follow the workers home to their encampment, we may encounter old lady Crinkle, or at least a representative of her.
It's good thinking, Jules.
Thank
As
you.
always, your logic is sound.
I appreciate your endorsement. We are the best of friends, all of us.
4 for 4.
Such a roguish individual. I love
Thank
it.
you. Aw.
However, it means walking the horses, because otherwise we will eclipse the workers to their home and we don't know where that is.
They live just beyond the sad burnt farm, I believe they said.
I just stare at him.
And you'll see by now the workers coming by, you know, with their evening farmer cloaks on, you know, the after shift one they wear back home on the walk. And they're honestly, as you listen to them talking, confused. They're like, are we gonna get paid? Like, the boss has never sent anybody home. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, I need to feed my family. I don't know. I mean, I just hope we can eat.
How much do you get paid per day?
They'll stop and say, I mean, they'll all look at one another. We don't really talk about that.
Legally, you're allowed to.
Oh, I'm asking you right now to ensure that you get paid. How much do you get paid per day?
Hold on a minute, Elados. Page 14 here of the new manual
We
says
do not
that-
work for this stupid fucking company.
Yes, I understand, but they're going to try and follow it, and it says here clearly that you are not allowed to speak about your wage to any other person.
Does it also say what their wage is?
$7.25 an hour.
How much is that in gold?
So
7.25.
it is 5 gold a day.
Oh.
which you know is about enough to buy a chicken nugget, maybe a thing of fries, like
Well, actually,
one
if
item.
it still exists, it would get you a full meal off the Wendy's value meal,
Who among
including.
you
do you
has,
say that?
Huh? Including.
You'll
the
hear
Coke.
several of them like, "What do you mean a full meal? Like,
the value meal, the dollar menu.
what do you? There's no one gold menu. What are you talking about? No, I haven't had a Wendy's full meal since I think I was a kid. Yeah, we got you one for your birthday.
Who among you has children?
All the adults, pretty much.
Right, all the
raise their-
children behind him are
Yeah,
waving.
yeah. I don't have any children of my own, but I take care of 4 brothers and sisters.
I will give that person all of my gold. I have 10 gold.
I will then hand you 22 gold as well as Jules and Cranston.
I then give out that gold as well to as many people as I can.
Not to be shown up by Elados, I start spreading my 22 gold.
I
around.
spread my gold faster.
So you'll
keep
have
mine.
I hold mine in my fucking pocket.
Yeah.
Because you're Jules.
Yeah.
Leotard.
Absolutely. And I thank you. And I put your hand back on the small of my back. And I say thank you.
So you'll see as people come
Bit of
up.
a flirtation between Holsteena and Jules.
It's a thing that friends do.
Tenderly hold each other.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes.
Who among have you not been tenderly held?
Yeah.
So you'll notice that as those of you pay attention to the crowd, that as you start spreading the gold around, the people who are getting the gold are really happy, and then you kind of see them look at it and like covet might be the wrong word, but they seem worried about like having it. They kind of seem leery of the others there. And the Freshtovia you knew from before, it was very much, everybody for everybody.
Nobody locked their doors.
Yes, it was.
You didn't hobble your whores.
Like a Wendy's, the doors are never locked. That's a tip for the consumers out there.
Thinking back to
Is this true?
Yeah, if you go to a Wendy's after hours, the doors are open and you can have all the food you want.
Wow.
Try it at home.
NCRP Productions does not endorse breaking into Wendy's.
It is called burglarizing. It's not as fun as it sounds.
thinking back to the teachings of Dave, you remember, especially you, Cranston and Holsteena, you would remember that Dave himself, sent down the words of count on one another. A burger is not patty alone. And what you're seeing now as you look out, that's an actual quote from him per the Wendy's website.
Remember, my friends, do what tastes right. This tastes right.
And you'll see the crowd starting to almost like whip up a little bit, like people starting to almost want to argue, like maybe want more.
No. Stop doing this. Look, we need to spread this around as much as we can.
But I do more work than him. I work hard.
This is nuts. You shut the fuck up. That is not a thing.
And so that old man, the older man that you guys saw earlier, kind of bone cracks his way forward.
Bone cracks.
Yes, the young man is right. What are you doing? This is not what I remember. Buddy, you were too young to remember a time before this, but I was around before the freeze, before the Inquisition. We wouldn't argue amongst each other. What are you doing? And you'll see a bunch of the people, kind of slump their head down. Well, what can we do? We can spread this around, but 1 gold's not going to buy us all a meal.
The enemy is not each other. The enemy is the class warfares that have been handed down to you by the dictators.
This is true.
My friends, I must ask, what happened to the dollar menu? Old man.
Ancient man.
Yes.
Yes, a Gizel.
Infirm.
Prior to the freeze.
My name is Oldman, yes.
Gary.
Yes, Oldman Gary, yes. First name Oldman, last name Gary.
You remember the dollar menu?
Yes,
The Wendy's combo?
I do. They
The
were
$5 bag?
They were a more prosperous time.
The 444.
The 4 for 4.
And you'll hear everybody kind of like murmur, 4 for 4, 4 for 4, 4 for 4. Yes, the people still...
When did that go?
And all of the young people, all murmur, I've only heard of it. It was not long after the Inquisition.
They've always said it's better here. I'm not so sure it is anymore.
That's the most depressing thing Cranston's ever said in our entire friendship. This is deeply jarring.
And the old man's gonna step up to you four, and he's gonna say, he's gonna point at your, the symbols on your armor, Cranston. He's gonna say, I remember that. Is it true? Is it you?
It is I.
Cranston.
You done laughing at me, Lady Holsteena?
Yeah, sorry.
I am Cranston Tater, the youngest sergeant ever to wear the stripes, order of the Baconator fries. We've come back. The 4, including me. We're gonna make this right.
He looks up at you in awe now, and he's gonna kneel before you. He says,
Don't do that.
you can get it.
Stand
I'll
up,
help him
stand
up.
up. This is real.
I'm sorry, I don't know. But this 4 for 4.
You nailed it, old man.
Yeah.
And he's gonna make the symbol of Wendy's, and he will turn to the crowd and say, those of you who are too young, you don't know, this is the 4. These are Freshtovia's greatest heroes.
I will step beside him, put my hand down, my gauntleted hand down for him to put his hand in, and I will help him up.
Cranston Tater, and Lady Knight Holsteena, Elados de Artique of the Frosty Order. And you'll hear the murmur of the Frosty Order. And Jules Leotard. The 4 stand before us. Why? What brought you back? Where have you been?
In times of great need, heroes arise, and we have arisen.
We have returned, apparently just in time.
Or
we will make
perhaps
things
a
right.
little bit late.
Yeah, maybe 20
It's possible
years.
we could have shown up a little earlier, but
30 years.
we're here now,
We were sleeping
and I still stand behind.
Says, well, it's good to see that there are heroes in our land again.
The heroes have been here all along. You just did not realize it. These farms need you. You are what make them work. You have all the power.
What she is saying is that, and then I point directly at Oldman's heart, and I
Yeah.
go, "You are the real hero here."
Me?
Have you ever heard of a union?
Alderman Gary?
Oh man, Gary.
Oldman,
Gary.
Lady
Oldman
Knight Holsteena.
Gary.
Oldman.
Old man Gary, you can be in a union.
Yes, we can unionize the workers.
Are we gonna lead a workers' revolt? Is that
What else is this campaign leading to? Yes.
I was going to say, unions are prohibited, and so
By
are
who?
revolts.
Who?
And they'll
Shut up, Jules.
one of them will pull out a little pocket version of the employee handbook, the little condensed one, and he flips through to it, and he says, right here.
Let me see that. And I take the book from his hand, and I freeze it.
She's going crazy with all this.
Yeah,
Bounces as it hits the ground and shatters.
so the people will all back up, except for Oldman. And they cower, honestly. It's the freeze.
No, it's the Frosty. You don't remember the Frosty?
Elados, maybe I can. There was a time where the Frosty was part of every Wendy's menu.
But that can't be. The Frosty's heretical.
Fuck is this guy?
You have such a small voice for such an old person.
No, I'm
not old, Gary.
I'm a child. I'm 8 years old.
It's
Oh,
true.
wow, why do you have a beard?
They age very quickly in the form.
Of course.
I know. I've been eating
Frosty.
burgers since I was a baby.
Oh my god. A frosty river ran through the very heart of Freshtovia, beside
The
the Queen's
cistern.
castle.
The Frosty Cistern. Though it's empty now,
And
we
vaguely
intend to make
smelly.
it flow again.
Oldman will say, "It's true. I swam in the Frosty River," and they look disgusted, taken aback. They say, "No, Oldman, no, don't say it's so. That's heresy." And they say, "No, it wasn't always heresy."
I have to ask, children, and you other people, because I want to include everybody. What do you dip your fries in?
They all look. Sir, condiments cost extra.
I bow my head.
I take off a hat that I didn't have on previously and throw it on the ground.
So there's like a little bit of sadness there. I had some ketchup once. It was old, but it was pretty good. It had a spice to it.
I believe I still have frozen ranch on my hand.
I have very hot armpits. I'd imagine that it's mostly melted.
You
by
have
now.
a fistful of ranch, of lukewarm ranch.
Here, child, have some French.
You've given me gold, sir!
I gave you actual gold, but I'm glad this is just as good.
You know that Dave said, having no choice is no fun. And I now understand what he meant.
Because I just gave this child armpit ranch?
They had nothing to dip their fries in.
No choice. No
Armpit
choice of dipping.
ranch.
Not a choice at all.
Charging for condiments, it's preposterous.
This is blasphemy.
That is heresy.
The word of Wendy has truly been perverted in these lands. But there are some we've heard of who still fight the good fight. This world is not without hope. We have heard tell of a generous woman named Old Lady Crinkle who provides out of only the kindness of her heart for you, the workers.
They'll all kind of look between each other, and old men will say, I remember them. These are the heroes. We can trust them. Say, well, yeah, she's helped all of us. You know, at one point or another, we've been sick, we've hurt ourselves. I mean, Jennifer over there lost a leg.
We all look at Jennifer.
she just has a peg leg.
It's
Not a crinkle fry.
No.
Is she attractive, or...
Yes.
Oh, can we get a roll of a 10,
yeah, can we
please?
get a D10 roll?
How
need to
hot
know.
is she?
7.
Hey!
7.
She's pretty hot.
What is her peg leg made
so
out of something
lonely.
food themed?
I just asked, was it a crinkle fry?
Oh, sorry.
It's
Does she have a
not a
crutch?
crinkle fry. It's a...
Straw.
It is a bendy
Oh,
straw,
that's
a
so
reinforced bendy straw, like the
Nice
the
one.
little bit of a string.
It's
Very
bent
nice,
like a little
yeah,
like me. That's great.
Very nice,
Aw.
Thank you.
very good. Yes, and yeah, hair flowing in the wind. Very solid 7.
Solid 7.
I'm recently single, you know?
She's like, yeah, but I was only out of work for 3 days. I mean, they patched me up pretty quick.
Oh.
Because I'm already in a throuple, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I see your eyes. I appreciate it, but already a throuple. And then like 2 people just kind of slide next to her.
Yes. Of course.
Yes.
Back in the good days, we had quadruples. 4 for 4 and all.
Yes, the 4 for 4.
Yep. Nailed it.
Would you be able to put us in touch? We think we may have a possible ally in this old lady Crinkle.
I suppose we can try. I mean, we don't really summon her. She kind of just shows up where she's needed, but...
Mayhaps we can join you for merrymaking this eve?
Did you just fucking say mayhaps?
It's how we used to
merrymaking?
talk 50 years ago.
They're going to think we're all going to want to be in the throuple now.
Forsooth. Lead us on to the broad.
Take us to the broad.
Remember in
Yes.
Shakespeare when he's like, through yon window, bronze showing her cans.
So Oldman will say, yes, we would be honored to have you, party with us tonight.
Righteous.
Perhaps we can cull these coins together and buy a feast we have not seen in an age. There is a Wendy's restaurant on the way.
I would hope so.
They pop up where they're needed.
Aw.
But the prices are still quite high.
They will give us a discount, I'm sure.
So they will, take you on their way. They will head to the north, a little bit deeper into the Fry Woods.
Can I ask a brief question?
Yes, you may.
We have a connoisseur of the fry with us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, truly, Cranston, you were raised understanding the correct way to harvest and make French fries.
That's true.
Do you
My family goes
think-
back years.
And I do have a-
Generations, as it were.
gens, straight generations. Do you think that you would be able to gather up some of the actually good fries on this journey, and we could fry? I have a canister of oil. Maybe we could.
I have a torch.
A torch. We could even cook some homemade fresh fries. Show these folks how the old timers
A real French fry
get
happens?
down with a French fry.
Okay.
So yeah, and you know that the spuds on the farm area, the industrialized farm, probably, you might be able to find some, but what you don't see is people harvesting from the forest. But
Right.
you know
Wild
what to
fries.
find. Yeah, you know what wild fries to pick up.
Farm fresh. They would be
The heirloom fries.
free range fries.
And so brushing off your, the years of not doing the foraging, you hopping into the forest as you keep up with the group are able to pick. And it takes you back even. Give me a intelligence check.
19.
19, excellent. So as you're picking, the people are talking, with the various members of the four that are on the road. You notice you get the sense of being watched, and you turn just in time to kind of look, and in a clearing, you kind of get the after image of a woman disappearing out of sight. Something about her, you caught just enough. The way she was standing seems familiar to you. Somebody you knew, somebody almost, like you don't want to say it, but your mother even. Like she was standing, it was just familiar.
Oh, familial.
I'm going to
Family.
endeavor
Family.
to search more, but keep a much closer eye at the edges of my vision.
Now, as you go forward about another 15 feet, you realize that around a large French fry tree, you find a circle of fries. It's one of those things that doesn't happen very often. They form a little circle there. And those are some of the freshest and best fries. They look fresher than any of the ones you have picked, and they actually look
Ripe and ready.
ripe and ready.
A fryery ring.
I shall harvest.
Friary. Yes, you are able to pick those, and you get that same sense of being watched, but it's not scary.
I think fair fry ring is better.
Fair friary.
Fair fry ring. We can agree to disagree on that one.
Neither is good.
So I will try again to catch full sight of this person or this thing.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and give me another intelligence check then.
Slay.
14.
14. Yes, so you do catch the eye. You don't catch the eye. As you look out of the corner of your eye, you do see somebody standing there. Female figure, darkened, in the distance, maybe 100 yards out. And you see that she's pointing up the way. Kind of around the bend a little bit.
So I'll look and look back. Is she still there?
She's gone.
No.
I'm going to walk up around the bend. She looked familiar. She felt familiar.
Yes. You did not feel any malice.
Familiar.
Familiar. And going around the corner, you will find a patch of flowers. Same kind of arrangement as something you saw just earlier today over at the grave sites of your family. And they're even kind of like a miniaturized version of that same arrangement. And you will see a bag of fries, crinkle cut, sitting there.
I will pick them up. Do they smell fresh?
They smell fresh. They smell familiar.
Are they in a Wendy's bag?
No, they're in a unmarked bag, just generic one without the stamp of anybody.
Well, the workers seem malnourished but not dying, so I assume that the crinkle cut fries are safe. I will take the bag. I will speak out to the forest. Thank you. The workers do need to eat. And I will take the fries I have harvested, the crinkle cut bag, wait one more moment to see if anyone arrives, and then return if nothing arrives.
Nothing arrives.
Okay, I will head back out.
Okay. All of you, as Cranston's doing this, so you're talking amongst the people. And, they have questions. Oldman will come to you, Lady Knight Holsteena, and say, Lady Knight, I want to make something clear. All of us believe in Queen Wendy. The people work for her. We want to have the Inquisition work. We don't want to be in fear. We love Queen Wendy. She doesn't come out to the people anymore, but there's not a soul I've met that doesn't love her. None of the workers, at least.
Good.
We do not, we have fears of the Inquisition, but in case there was doubt of that, we care for Wendy and still wish to do good by her. And we do see ourselves as needed. The Inquisition, from what we've been told, has taken a toll. There have been famines. We try to keep fresh, like the Queen has told us. But ways have been lost.
They have, and the Four will strive to correct these missteps. I appreciate your fealty to Wendy, and I hope that saying that can bring pride to you soon.
Thank you. Oh, look, our town's right up there. And so you'll come up to a little village. At the start of it is a Wendy's Tavern and Inn, where they say, hey, we can go and get the food for the evening there. And you will see a line, out of it. The workers coming in from the day, going there to get their food. The people coming out with, one item apiece, things that are small, just maybe a chicken nugget here, an order of fries there. Every so often you'll see somebody come out with a full bagged meal, and they are wearing the evening cloak of one of the managers.
The evening farm cloak.
The evening supervisor's cloak. Farm supervisor's cloak?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a standard Wendy's, or is this like a
Pop-up
company
Wendy's.
store, like a old mining town's company store? Does it seem to be managed by the Tates?
Yes, so you see that
Not
it
the
does
Tates, sorry,
say a Spuds.
Spuds, thank you.
Yes. So you do see that it says Wendy's on it. Mm-hmm. But you can see that there are a lot of Spuds Farms advertisements on there. There's a Spuds Farms billboard on the outside, or a little notice board, and you'll see several notices from management on there about reminders of timeliness, or that stealing food is stealing from the mouth of the mouth of the people, from Wendy herself. things of that nature.
Work is freedom.
Yes,
Yeah.
things, the generic things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this town, there's not much, merriment going on, except for the group you are coming in with. But they will quiet down a little bit as they get into town, actually. You'll notice that there are others in town. You will see supervisors walking with food here or there, but you'll also see a inquisitorial force, too. You don't see like an entire garrison, but you'll see several guards walking around, simply keeping the peace, making sure that hunger from the forests, if they come in, they'll be able to vanquish them. But they're very much kind of just like lazing about, walking around the streets.
Do the townsfolk avoid them?
Very much so. They give a wide berth as they walk by, eyes to the ground.
And do we see Wendy's wrappers and bags in abundance around them?
You'll see like a little guard post, just a little a little inquisitorial guard post, and you'll see a trash can outside of it that is kind of filled over with Wendy's bags.
So we're seeing like an inflated middle management class?
Yes.
Interesting. I walk into the Wendy's Tavern.
Yeah.
I want to look at the prices.
Yes. So as you're looking at the prices, you will see that, as I described before, as the people described, there are the basic items for about 5 gold. A day's wage. And there are some cheaper items. I guess, for a day's wage, you'd probably get like several chicken nuggets, something like that. But you could buy singles for, a gold here, gold there. The meals themselves are, 10 gold, 15 gold. Even you see some 20 gold for the big meals.
That's absurd.
This is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Who's working behind the counter?
So, working behind the counter, you will see the restaurateur class workers working behind the counters. They look, much akin to the farmers, just like the working class. There is a supervisor in there, watching over everything from the corner. But otherwise, you'll just see a working class buying from working class.
This is a dire picture you've painted.
Yeah.
Jules, I think it's time to set up the fryer, find a good spot in town, and we should begin.
Yeah, Oldman.
But-
Oldman.
You see a couple people look back. No, they mean me. And he'll walk over. Yes.
We're gonna make a nice evening for some of you. Maybe those who we were coming out here with, especially. We need a show of hope. Get the workers' morale raised. I'm sure it hasn't been high for a while. We're gonna have an old style fry. You got a good location
French
for
fry.
us? A French fry.
A real French fry.
A
true
real French fry.
And so he'll kind of look around and he'll look towards the Inquisition.
Far away from watching eyes, of course.
Yeah.
Big wink.
So yeah, yes, there is a place. We have a meeting place that when the stars align and we can get the time off, we meet. The Wendy's has in the book you'll see several days that are free days for us, for days of rest. And yes, we do have a place, but we must be careful. The Inquisition, they might not like a bunch of us getting together without them knowing. They like us to stay in town.
Can you try to gather some folks who have sway in the community here? Sway amongst the workers, maybe those who have gained respect through their deeds, or who have just been, the respected elders of the working group, if you will. Does that seem like a good idea?
I believe so.
I look around for approval from my party members.
You receive it.
I receive approval. I therefore continue along this path.
Okay. Real quick, Cranston. Actually, I should ask. Everyone who is focusing on this conversation, is anybody looking around at all? That is my main question.
Always.
Okay,
Yeah,
looking
on
around.
a swivel.
Swivel.
I'm fully engaged.
Fully
with Oldman.
engaged.
Yeah, I would be looking at the Inquisition specifically.
Excellent. So, go ahead, everybody who's not engaged in the conversation, go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
That one. Apparently nothing's going on with the Inquisition.
Dirty
I
20.
got a dirty 20 as
Me
well.
too.
Yay.
So Cranston, you are focused on, you're swiveling pretty quick. Or no, you're focused. You're hyper focused on the gate, or the little guardhouse itself. You are super focused on the trash can and kind of maybe the intricacies of like the. These are not the kind of posts that you would have allowed back in your day.
These are not Wendy's kind of people.
These are not Wendy's kinds of troops. And actually, funny enough, looking through the employee handbook, there is some mention on, inquisitorial like standards, and they're not even really following those. That trash can should not be piled over. But Elados and Holsteena, one thing that you'll notice is a little blue bird flits in and darts up to the little guard tower, which you two will kind of now notice on the side. There's like a little cage with a bunch of little blue birds in there, kind of like twittering about. And
No.
you'll see that one of the guards
I kill the birds.
goes over to the bird that lands on top, picks it up and puts it close to his ear, and then kind of is nodding, and then puts the bird into the cage and closes it. And then that guard goes off down the road.
Perhaps, Lady Holsteena, if we see something that is untoward, we could tweet the queen.
I think I am of two minds on regarding the queen. If we tell her our concerns without having a plan to improve the conditions, I fear that she will not listen. And additionally, I fear that even raising a question against her is, treason.
We wouldn't phrase a question against her.
Of course not.
Wendy can't do wrong.
I understand what you are saying, but she is the clapback queen. She will come back, right? She will back us up, no?
I don't know.
Would hope, but I'm uncertain. Everything I've seen, I fear that she's not in control.
Jules?
I'm just lost in old man's eyes. Have you seen
of
these
course.
things? Steely gaze.
Very roomy.
As they're doing that, he's gonna, be close talking to you and say, yes, we do have several elders as we see it.
How's that old man's breath?
A little bit French fry-y, but not bad.
On a scale of 1 to 10, if we were
Would
to
you
randomly
let me
assign
know?
a value to him.
Thank you.
Never mind, it's actually rancid. It's a
Okay.
1. You got a 1. It's bad. He has
it's
poor,
rotten
unfortunately.
onions.
Yeah, poor dental. No, actually, no, not even that. Very big onion smell. Yes, like he's been eating onions and maybe raw fries.
Oh man,
Oh.
that's rough.
Yes, times are tough.
So you have something to tell me about elders?
Yes. No, I think we can get our elders together at the meeting place, but we have to make sure the Inquisition doesn't find out.
That sounds great. Maybe you could show us where to go and spread the word that we'll be meeting at sundown. Sounds like a good time for a meeting of the elders.
Yes, sundown does sound like a good idea.
Oh, and it'll give us some time to get the fry together.
Okay, I'll spread the word.
I'm desperately looking at my inventory for like something I can use as like a breath mint or something.
I
have
will
a
take
ukulele.
one of my clamps and clip it on your nose.
Oh, explain that.
We do have clamps.
a little
don't
hand
have.
comes out and like puts a clamp on your nose.
I feel
Helps.
powerful again.
I have an idea about the fry. Do you remember the story of the saltstone soup?
Of course. Everybody brought the stones. You cook them in the water, and then it's enough to feed the village.
You've missed some pieces, but generally, yes.
I didn't pay much attention in school.
Wouldn't that just make salt water, Cranston?
If all brought things to fry, it would make more fry to eat.
So Oldman Gary looks at you and says, "Yes, I think that would be a good idea. Yes, we could make a giant soup. Why have we never thought of that?
Not a soup.
Because
it's
Wendy's doesn't serve soup.
a giant fry.
However,
A giant fry.
It's an appetizer.
A chili.
Is there no chili available?
Well, it's a bit expensive.
But if each
The-
brought but a
The
fraction,
chili is expensive?
it's basically dog food.
So you guys are gonna hear as because you guys went up and are kind of in line for Wendy's, correct?
No, I think
no,
we're-
we're off to the
no.
side.
You guys
Yeah.
are off to the side. Okay, I wanted to
Holsteena
make
just
sure.
came out of
Yeah,
the
I
room.
went and looked.
So you guys are off to the side. You see coming from down the road, or actually from the other side of the Wendy's, the little child that was speaking in the group from earlier. You
How
seem
did
to
he
have
sound
went
again?
around. He comes over and he says, "Everybody, listen! The Inquisition. I just got word from one of my 6 brothers. I'm not sure who, but anyway, I just got word that the Cranch Knight is out looking for somebody, and they said
The
that
what?
Is there what?
the Cranch Knight. He said that my brother told me that they're out. They got a twit from somebody that they're looking for somebody like you for."
Then we will meet them.
The crunch night?
Yeah, what the hell is a cringe?
What is this?
And so
What are you saying?
That is when you hear a crash down the road and you see some dust settling and up against a wall. So you see a worker being held up, being pinned after being slammed against the wall. The wood is broken a little bit, dirt flying around, and you will see a knight there in full Biggie armor.
Ooh.
That seems to almost flow in the firelight there, and it is a pink kind of a pink color. And it's like white base with some kind of red shifting through it, and you see
I
that
know
in
it.
his
Secret
right hand
condiment.
is a sword that seems to drip. One half of the blade is red of ketchup, the other white of ranch. And he says, "Where are the 4? Where are the heretics?" And then that is where we'll end.
Thank you for joining us on another NCRP Productions podcast. We couldn't do this without you, so please like and subscribe everywhere we're found, including YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify, and other great podcast sites. If you'd like to help us continue making more content, we'd love to have your support on our Patreon. And if you have any feedback for us, please feel free to comment on our podcasts or email us directly at ncrpproductions@gmail.com. And we'd like to give a special shout out to our current patrons, our Seegson Employees of the Month, FS, Michael H., Michael P., and our Breaker of Seals, the Jones, Frank H., Christopher C., Matthew K., and the Lab. Trademarked. Thank you all. We truly, truly appreciate it.